we have the Night of the Moth update for today, December 8th. Some of the highlights we got: the Mothman Equinox, Season 7, the Scoreboard kicking off, quality of life improvements that we've been looking forward to and we've been talking about on stream, public event updates, and the private radio. For the new seasonal event, Mothman Equinox, it's saying a group of Rob travelers have just arrived in Appalachia and they're taking up residence at Point Pleasant. And apparently they're celebrating a dubious occasion known as the Mothman Equinox. Alright, so we're going to be looking for the Enlightened. So a specific sect of the wise Mothman's most devoted followers. I like this, how they're expanding upon, let's say, the Mothman lore and building it up. I'm curious to know if they do anything else extensive with, let's say, encrypted creatures. I don't know. Not saying there's going to be a Praise the Snallygaster event or some weird Wendigo Wednesday thing. I don't know. But maybe we'll see more lore expanded over time. So we're going to be starting the event speaking with Interpreter Clarence, and then he'll be found at the Mothman Museum's roof. We're going to be joining other dwellers to aid the Enlightened in completing ceremonial tasks around Point Pleasant, lighting ritual bonfires, and defending against an onslaught of rival Mothman cultists. So far, a few people from the community are saying it's like Project Paradise, it's like guided meditation, it's like multiple events in one. I still have yet to run it, so I'm very excited to run this a few times and see what new rewards we can get and what other events maybe this can lead to in the future. And then we're also going to be apparently hunting around for ways to learn more about the origins of the mysterious Enlightened. Alright, I'm down for this. We're going to be encountering cultist high priests. So apparently they're going to be dropping us some gifts. Let's see what kind of rewards we get. Again, multiple events in one. Now you kind of have like Holiday Scorch dropping things. Even I guess the treasure hunters are all very similar in this category of hunt specific creatures that are going to drop these items. We are on to Season 7, Zorbo's Revenge. And then from the beginning when we had, was it the Legendary run? Former and self-proclaimed Emperor of the Universe, Dr. Zorbo, has never forgotten about his crushing defeat at the hands of Captain Cosmos during, the Legendary run. Now Zorbo seeks to enact revenge by assembling a villainous crew who will help him build a massive war machine he'll use to obliterate the captain. Here's what's headed your way, and then it talks about the new scoreboard, new allies, and then to rank 100 and beyond. So I enjoy the fact that they keep coming up with these different themes that seem like they're coming straight out the comics, and to expand, I guess, upon this, I don't know, mini comic universe within the game, with some of these stories and how they're told, and then it translates directly to these rewards. We're getting new allies, Zergzo and Catherine, and then again going beyond 100. So props to people in the community that went past 150. I myself got to 149 and just very close to 150 and apparently just missed it. There's a few that went above and beyond. Congrats to everybody that's made progress. I'm going to try to see if I can make similar progress and see what kind of rewards we can get, but I am glad they're not tweaking this or anything like that so far. I also have yet to see any sort of posted rewards for the beginning portion. I myself did go and look at the last so many. I think I saw from 80 to 100 what rewards you get, but I have no idea what beginning ones you get. And I think we're going to need to kind of break the habit of not claiming all 100 score at the end of the season. We'll see. I will be forced to at least claim the first reward, and then we'll see about 2 to 100 if I wind up claiming at the end of the season like I have been. Alright, so for quality of life improvements, I don't know, I think we need one of these. So we have nearby corpse looting, legendary loot sharing, team XP sharing, a new tab in the build menu, the keyring for Pip and the Pip-Boy, and then a few other things like Pip-Boy menu color customization, so that'll be like Fallout 4. Ammo everywhere. Again, I'm gonna go through these, and I'm pretty excited for all of them. So the nearby corpse looting, we've been talking about for a while. I feel like this idea was spawned into the game probably way early on, from when people were running, let's say, White Springs golf course or something like that, nuking it, and then having a bunch of piles and wanting to loot all at once. And then further along when we have Rad Rumble in the game. So we finally have it. I have yet to test this out, and I imagine looting at Rad Rumble will not take 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe it should be a quick couple of button pushes and then you're out. Legendary loot sharing. So as long as you are within sight, you don't have to go crazy. The days of trying to hit legendary enemies before they die are over, as they're saying. Team XP sharing, another one that I was mentioning and comparing it to Rad Rumble. When we're running Rad Rumble, my whole theory on this has been, if they're going to, reduce the time that it takes to complete it, and then change a couple of things, well, are you going to still get the same amount of XP? Well, if you're going to group and you're tagging, let's say, one portion, and then everybody else is kind of working on other sections, everybody's tagging stuff, so you should be getting a lot more XP. And then if you're within, let's say, a certain radius, you may still be able to get all the legendaries in the area. I don't know. We still have to kind of test that out and see what kind of leash we're tethered to when it comes to, let's say, not just loot sharing, but XP sharing. So now we have a new tab in the camp menu. So that's cool. There's been definitely a few times in the Atom shop that I've claimed stuff and then could not figure out if it was floor decor, wall decor, miscellaneous, or something in between. Keyring. When I first heard about this, I had not thought about this. I feel like I've actually, now that I'm saying this, I think maybe we had a conversation about this once upon a time. But comparing that to other games that have done similar things, once you collect so much, kind of put them away. And now that we're going to be using our, let's say, miscellaneous tab probably more and more, with, let's say, different rewards and keeping track of legendary cores, modules, things like that. And then browsing through other categories at the same time, if you can have less things cluttering what you're looking for, that'll also kind of speed things along. So I do appreciate that. The Pip-Boy menu color customization. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to rep what I did on Fallout 4, or I'll test some other things and see what it looks like, but that's a nice little feature as well. And then ammo everywhere. I saw this earlier. I'm pretty happy that similar to how we can get ammo of the weapon we're using in daily ops, now it's going into the actual game. In terms of having at least a chance to drop a small amount of ammo, but it all adds up. This is going to be less upkeep you have to do when it comes to making ammo and things like that, so that's pretty good. Public event updates. We're bringing a variety of improvements to public events through some adjustments to the public event system itself, the addition of reward preview to public event map descriptions, and a number of balance changes across many of the events that are currently available in game. I'm pretty happy about that as well. In terms of trying to clean things up, I wonder though, I did kind of skim some of this, if certain events are going to be starting, let's say, every 20 minutes. I'm not entirely sure what the spawn rate was before. I guess it depended on world to world. There was definitely some times we would be in certain servers and notice that it took almost forever for an event to spawn, so then we would know to hop to the next one. But then, even when we have quick events spawning, was it taking up the entire 20 minutes kind of deal? I'm trying to think now. Depending on the event you would run, it wouldn't take the entirety of it, unless you did one violent night for 25, 27 minutes, whatever it is, if you started as it popped up. Alright, but we do have a few things like Campfire Tales, Distinguished Guest, Feed the People, Heart of the Swamp, which apparently Heart of the Swamp will give you the leather coat. I'm still in shock. Line in the Sand, One Violent Night, Path to Enlightenment, Project Paradise, Rad Rumble, Tea Time, The Mother Lode, and Uranium Fever. All these are going to be within this 20-minute, let's say, timer. So we'll see how, let's say, often we're running things or whatnot. But we have, let's say, this Mothman Equinox going on right now. So we're going to have plenty of things to do in between events. So I feel like initially we're not going to notice this. Once this is done and we don't have as many seasonal things going on, then could this 20-minute timer, let's say, prolong certain things, but maybe that's not the issue. And then Scorched Earth, Colossal Problems, they have special requirements, so they're not going to impact any of this as well. As mentioned above, you can now preview the rewards that are up for grabs at each public event directly from the event's description on the map. So I think that's pretty good, especially as we start looking at next gen. So if you're on an older Xbox, PlayStation playing, and then you're sitting in a loading screen for a certain event, you might have a little bit of time to look at the overall explanation. But if you're also on newer gen, if it loads quicker, you're not seeing a lot of that. So there's like missed information. So now if they start building some sort of interface where you can see rewards, I'm curious to see how they're going to expand that down the road too, so you kind of have more menus to look at and find out more about what you're doing. A lot of people that I feel like run some of these events, regardless of their level, just don't get some of the information. So if you have rewards, if you have more information about the event, how to run the event, I'm all for that. Spoon feed people, I guess, the information. Again, having different public event balance adjustments. Pretty happy to see a lot of things changed here. Not necessarily changed, but updated. So Campfire Tales. The campfire often died down too quickly, which could cause the event to fail more easily than we'd like. Now the campfire will burn a little longer, giving you and your event mates some more time to feed the flames. Free range. So I like this. We've beefed up the Brahmin's resistance to make them survive a little bit more. I'm happy about that. Guided meditations. Hello, Monty. We're reading update notes. Do you want to join us? Hey. No? Okay. She's sticking her head in a bag. Okay, cat doing cat things. Guided meditation. Feral ghouls now consistently run toward and attack the speakers, preventing an issue where they could remain idle in the parking lot. Ghouls may sometimes still stand around if they don't sniff out new prey right away, but they'll always be much closer to the action. So that's good. Keep pulling more enemies towards you. You don't have to worry as much about aggro, and then you should be able to get more kills, more XP, and then going back to hold the XP loot share and being nearby people, you should get a lot more. And the overall difficulty has been reduced. Line in the Sand. So it's taken a bit too long to come to an end, apparently, and now has a limit of 10 minutes. So this should be good too if you're trying to spawn other events while certain events are going. If they are being milked, let's just say, for all the XP that they can get, or if things just generally take longer, again, this should add to that consistency. Upon reaching the event's time limit, it will not fail so long as the generator is still standing. You receive more rewards, however, if you manage to defeat all enemy waves. Okay. Project Paradise, and as we get to a couple of these, I'm very excited. Between Project Paradise and Rad Rumble, I feel like we've definitely discussed certain ways to run certain events as efficiently as possible, but this helps everybody out. So now they are lowering the amount of food required to level up each biome's creature to 15 per rank in Project Paradise. They're adding more resistance to the friendly creatures, so we don't have to go crazy and focus as much on making sure we're not throwing Molotovs at them or using friendly fire to keep them alive. We can focus on other things as well. And then unfortunately sometimes things do get bombarded, so I do hope this resistance helps you out. If you, let's say, have a swarm of anglers using projectiles on a creature, there's no way for you to really block that or stop that, so it's going to get hit regardless and may get shredded up kind of deal, so keep that in mind. Let's see how that changes things. Will they really be tankier? And then Project Paradise no longer ends in failure if you do not manage to kill the alpha creatures. To succeed, players only need to defend the friendly creatures. However, rewards will be reduced if the alphas are still alive at the end of the event. So, what, just a couple stream ago, we 3-manned Project Paradise. I was an alpha. We had 2 others between Toxic Sludge and Radkelp. And then sometimes Radkelp you're fighting the server, but that was complete sweat mode trying to do 3 people. So now we've proven that we could do 3. We successfully do it with a lot less sweat and other people from the community and the server. But now if we can all focus a little bit on the event and making sure different things are done, this is going to ensure a lot of people to successfully complete that, get more bear arms, get more bear arm mods, things like that. For Rad Rumble, to encourage players to participate in the ore collection, they're lowering the requirements to 5, 15, 30, and 50, which is really big news. Apparently you only need to make a quick trip or 2 between the front and back, and then you have everything you need and you can kind of just hang out. So that's good for the VIPs of the event who have been running the ore. Thank you guys. The time limit has been reduced to 8 minutes, and then even if you've already reached the final ore collection tier, you'll still be fine. You can collect them and then, you know, set it and forget it. Just wait until the event's over, get all your XP, tag as much as you can. Now the question is, for an event like this, is this how you leech for a new character? Is this how you just kind of hide in the corner if you don't have a weapon to tag things? You try to shoot what you can and then you level up quicker? I'm very curious to see what a new character kind of hiding in a corner would get from this. We're going to have to assign some of that out. They've lowered the spawn rate of non-ghoul enemies at certain aura thresholds to prevent overwhelming enemy numbers. Not gonna lie, seeing 3 Deathclaws running up from one of those hallways is like the best thing ever. You just see XP running at you. I can imagine if you're an ore collector and you're somebody's depositing while you're still down there and one of those things spawn, that's probably a bad time. So making sure that Snallygassers, floaters don't bombard you too, I guess is good. Less XP, but again, long term we should be getting more XP. Mind you, if you're a solo player, you may want to consider joining a team or 2 that's running it, just so you can also get some extra XP. And then they've doubled the scavengers' resistances to make them more survivable. Awesome. So reducing the Molotovs that we have to throw at them to, again, use friendly fire to keep them alive. So we have Swarm of Suitors. We've addressed a number of bugs that could prevent players from receiving the highest tier rewards from successfully completing the event. We've also made some adjustments to streamline the event. And it's also been redesigned to focus on killing Mirelurks with a certain amount of time rather than preventing them from reaching the island. Now, players must kill all Mirelurks in each of 3 attack waves before the objective timer expires. So I like this. They're tweaking the event and making it, I guess, you know, make more sense. So this is good. And then, yeah, be able to complete that. Tea time apparently was completing in failure too quickly at times. I know a few people in the community run it. I've only ran it maybe like once or twice, to be honest. But those people that are running it will be able to successfully run it, you know, and not have to worry about it ending too quickly. And then certain enemies will no longer spawn. The rat ants and ticks that attack the pipe. Apparently, that's an issue that was causing it. Again, I didn't run this event, so it's hard for me to really see the difference. But just what I'm reading, you'll be able to complete it a lot better without having to focus on too many things at once. So that's pretty good. Again, all these different little quality of life update things here that they've done for these events should be pretty good. Again, I have yet to run anything, but from what I'm hearing from members of our community, I'm looking forward to it. So now we have a pirate radio. We'll have to see what that's all about. And here we go with some bug fixes. So I'm going to skim through some of these. I'm going to make sure that the link is available for people that want to make sure that they don't miss anything. Pretty interesting. One of the graphics bugs. Fix an issue that could cause enemy and player corpses to temporarily become invisible after being killed. I never saw that for a player, but I saw that for super mutants. I would run West Tech, and then when I went to loot the corpse, the armor would be there, but the super mutant would be invisible. I can't say that I've seen it anywhere else, but curious. For camps and workshops, there's a lot of different things here between displays, fences, floors, and other things being adjusted and fixed. Okay, I'm going to make sure that a lot of this is posted up so you guys can see as I kind of skim through these. Daily Ops, Arctos Pharma adjusted the spawn location for Daily Ops inside Arctos Pharma so that players have more room to move around and are less likely to start the op by accident. Have definitely had that happen. Just walked a few feet forward, turned around to look at the group, and it started. Events and quests, loading screens. When fast traveling to a public event, loading screens now correctly display additional information about that event. Again, I'm hoping to see as much information. Although a lot of us do get what's going on, sometimes you have to spoon feed people information, and the more people know, the more successful it goes for everybody. Alright, different fixes for Fallout Worlds. Items. We'll go straight down to performance instability, so we love to see, even if it's the same thing over and over again. Anything that I can read that says increases some sort of server stability, client stability, it adds up. Anybody that's ever played a game like Ark, they know that when they see those updates that are like, oh, we made something 12% more efficient, or should run this, you know, much better. The more we see, the better. Fix the crash that could occur during normal gameplay. I don't need an explanation. Thank you. Keep working on those. Fix the crash that could occur when fighting a Daily Ops boss. Again, sure, keep going. Address an audio issue that could result in a client crash. Hate to see that. Fix an issue that could cause the client to crash after fast traveling. Can't say I ran into that one. Applying mods to laser and plasma weapons no longer causes the Russian game client to crash. Oddly specific. Fixed an issue that could cause a server crash during normal gameplay. Fix a server crash that could occur during combat. And address an issue that could result in a server crash during the Meat Week seasonal event. Alright, they've been taking notes. They've been making sure things can get fixed over time. And then again, I'm going to make sure that this is linked so anybody that wants to see more about the bug fixes, additional improvements, you guys can get caught up. But yeah, here we go. Let's get into the game, test out some of this, and I guess hunt down some Mothman cultists and take part in the Equinox.